Beware of black people and stay away from them. They are not good people is one of the first things that my mom was told when she came to this country. I am a first generation immigrant child. My parents came here back in 1993 after the Somali War. My parents came here as refugees and they were taught the ways of the Americans by white people who were helping them stay in hotels, giving food, shelter, etc., etc. My mom told me a lot of things that the guides would tell them. They would say, these people, they're black, they get into a lot of crimes. I wouldn't suggest that you mess around with them. One day my mom was taking a permit class, and just like the jail yard, the black people were together, the Mexicans were together, the Africans were with the Africans, the Asians with the Asians, whatever. And as the instructor was talking about, driving and on the road, she said, just make sure that you're paying attention. And for you, she pointed to the Asians and said, don't laugh when you're driving. Don't smile. So yeah.
The internet and social media is one hell of a blessing, I must confess. That being said, I cannot tell you guys how grateful I am that we now have such a tool at our disposal. Now we can globally share outside of the story with one another, connect with each other across the pond, and actively work towards changing the narrative and work towards achieving a more united front. White supremacy really did a number on us as a people. Oh, they did us bad, they did us dirty. Like, these folks were so calculative in their endeavors to tear us apart because they know that us coming together and working together will bring about their demise. So what did they do? They burnt the bridge that we needed to cross in order to meet each other. They were whispering in our ears two different informations, but their goal was very clear, and their goal is we cannot let these people come together and unite. While that is sinister in and of itself, it is proof that these people are scared of what we can do when we come together. Hence why they fought so hard, used various means necessary to make sure that they kept us apart. Like, these people were just hitting our heads against each other, but we didn't know that they were doing that. But now, thank goodness, what's happening is the scales are falling off our eyes and now we are sniffing out their lies. And this got us globally going,
wait a damn minute.
Because we are realizing that all that they have been telling us is nothing but BS. We are seeing coming to fruition the Nigerian saying I have shared with you guys a couple of times here on this channel. The saying that goes, when breeze blow, fowl yansh go open. It's a pidgin saying, right? And this saying in English translates to, nothing stays hidden under the sun.
So I just had a talk with Jimmy, and Jimmy just told me that you said that I'm loud, I'm lazy, I'm ghetto, and I don't like to work or none of that. That's funny because I just got to talking to Jimmy, and Jimmy said that you said that we broke and ain't got no food or water at the house. That's funny because Jimmy said that you said that we don't do nothing but smoke weed and sell drugs, and we're nothing but drug dealers. That's crazy because it sounds like Jimmy is messy and we need to get together and whoop Jimmy ass. What y'all think?
I think yes, Jimmy needs better beating. A beating long overdue. So please, when exactly are we pulling up on Jimmy?
Simple. Cheap labor. Why do you think America is playing hero right now with Ukraine? Why do you think America has always been the hero for refugees and immigrants? Why do you think immigration started to peak right after slavery ended? We're going to save you. We're going to give you housing, resources, safety. We're going to bring your kids. We're going to give you jobs. We're going to sell you the American dream. But the fine print of that contract, don't mess with these people. They're lazy. They don't want to work. They're violent. They're horrible people. They beat black people to the punch and got their side of the story out first. They modified and watered down the brutal and inhumane conditions and things that they did to black people and natives in this country. So now they place you in poverty-stricken communities. You're going to be grateful because you just came from a refugee camp. You're like, thank the Lord. What happens in every poverty-stricken community around the world? There's violence, there's crime, obviously. So now you, the refugee, the grateful refugee, gets to see everything that these people are talking about. Because had they placed these immigrants and refugees in thriving communities with thriving black people, they would have been like, dang, y'all were lying. The black people obviously aren't violent. Look at them. They're hardworking. They don't do anything. They got these immigrants working like dogs for scraps and they're grateful. And here they are, the grateful immigrants and refugees, looking at Black people like, why are not breaking your backs like we are? Because they already did. They broke their backs. They're the reason we're here. Why should Black people work for scraps for the wealth that they built? Make it make sense. And Black people were also given negative stereotypes about Africans. So no one's talking to the other person. No one is actually sharing stories and coming together to realize, no, wait, this is common enemy number one, not you guys. So that's the story of the grateful refugee.
You know what I find most crazy about the American dream? Is that it's a dream that is being sold to people who are living outside of America. But there are people in America, people who are Americans, millions of them, who are not even living the American dream.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
And something else is highlighted in a video that I want to touch on a bit is the fact that they started calling for immigrants into America immediately after colonization ended. And that is because they still needed manpower. A lot of it. They needed people that will come in and help them build their country. And they needed this manpower cheap. So where did they turn to? Africa, Asia. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but America was even running visa lotteries. Like they were giving visas out for free. You play the lottery game and if you get lucky, you get a free visa to America. I don't think there was any country on the continent that wasn't eligible to apply for this visa. And every single freaking year, people from the various countries here on the continent won the American visa from playing the lottery. I personally know someone who won. One of my neighbors in where we used to live growing up won a visa. And that was how her and the guy she was dating at the time quickly got married and they both went to the United States. Because you see, the arrangement with the United States lottery visa system arrangement was if one person wins a visa through the lottery system, if they are married, their partner is also eligible to go with them as well to the United States. Interesting phenomenon, right? If you know the number of people that left this continent using that visa lottery program, it's insane. And it was very interesting how this whole visa lottery thing was sold to the masses. They basically sold it like this, like, oh, we want to help some of those poor people in Africa or in Asia or the Middle East, wherever, give them an opportunity to come down here and better their lives. When basically what they were doing was getting people to come help them build their countries. They weren't giving these people visas to come into America because they loved them or really cared about their situation and wanted to help them elevate in life and in society. No. They were only doing that because they needed them to go build America for them, to go help them build America. Some might say it was a scratch my back, I scratch your back situation, but nah. Historically, when have these folks ever helped anyone scratch their back? These people don't have a history of doing good out of the kindness of their hearts. They only do stuff that benefits them. So if you see them doing anything that supposedly looks like they are doing any form of good, so you know that what they are getting in return is way, way, way more than they ever gave. So it wasn't a quid pro quo situation. And you know this, when you even look at how they treat people, non-white people, these people don't like non-white people. So why are they all of a sudden so willing to want to help them? Like, when you think about it, really, they don't like black people, right? Let's narrow it down to, our community. They don't like black people. You see how they are treating the black people in the United States, like African Americans, right? You see how they treat them. They don't like them. But now all of a sudden they are reaching out to the ones on the continent talking about, we care about you and we want to help you. Go help the African Americans. They've been there for hundreds of years now and they need assistance, for crying out loud. But you want to jump over them and come help us here on the continent. You love us so much, you want to bring us all the way over to you. You started a visa lottery program to bring us over. So you can do for us there in the United States something that you could not do for African American people that have been living with you for hundreds of years now.
You don't find that suspicious?
And this is exactly how they get the grateful immigrant, as our good sister coined it in her video. They come in telling you how they are here to help you, they care about you, they love you. Then they bring you over, you are grateful that they have saved you from whatever situation that you were living in back home in your country on the continent, and now they feed you all those information and turn you against your own people, the African Americans that have been with them. If these people could save you from what you were dealing with back home, oh, they must be good people. Now you take in and believe everything they are spewing, and now you are in their system, working for them, building for them, getting used in various ways than one, actively being a pawn, helping them achieve their agenda without even realizing it. And all of this you are doing for stipends. Chai! My dada don't lose on top this matter. And now that we're on this topic, I want to quickly add something that I have been thinking for a while. I think one of the reasons why Africa is being systematically and deliberately destabilized, of course, aside from the obvious reason, which is her resources, right? They want to be able to get Africa's resources for cheap, if not even for free. So aside from this obvious reason, I think one other very good reason why they make sure countries on the continent are destabilized is because they know that this would help them when they are in the need of human resources. Because where would the people from these destabilized countries want to go to? The West. They know these people would want to come to their countries, and yes, they do need them, even though they do not like them, right? They need them to help build, sustain, and keep their economies going. And this is one more reason to add to why they make sure that certain countries here on the continent are constantly destabilized. They know that if these countries are left alone to thrive and do their own thing, not only would they not be getting these resources for free or for very cheap, they also would not be getting the human resources they need from these countries. Because if these countries are stabilized and left to thrive on their own, the citizens within these countries would not want to leave because their countries are doing fine. So not only would countries thrive and affect them in the natural resource department, it would also affect them in the human resource department. But guys, what do you think about all of this? What do you think about how now, thanks to social media, we now globally see right through their BS? Have you heard of the US visa lottery system before now, or are you just hearing about it for the first time? And what are your thoughts on the points I raised in this video? What are your own points that you would like to share with us? Let's continue this conversation down below in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching, and of course, as always, I will see you in the next one.
So I just had a talk with Jimmy, and Jimmy just told me that you said that I'm loud, I'm lazy, I'm ghetto, and I don't like to work or none of that. That's funny because I just got to talking to Jimmy, and Jimmy said that you said that we broke and ain't got no food or water at the house. That's funny because Jimmy said that you said that we don't do nothing but smoke weed and sell drugs, and we're nothing but drug dealers. That's crazy because it sounds like Jimmy is messy and we need to get together and whoop Jimmy ass. What y'all think?